Hi, everyone. I want to talk briefly about how hypnosis could help your pool game. I have worked with this before, and I think it's a fascinating topic, just like all sports hypnosis. And this one is the ways that working with hypnosis or working in the subconscious mind could have a more profound effect than just, say, meditation or attempting to either stay in a certain state or how you would manage with a trigger, just generally speaking. So, whenever we're looking at subconscious or superconscious work, this is more about the unknown and more about setting things up in a more automatic way so that they don't rely on either our effort or our logical analytical mind to be able to do that. Because what happens is when we work in this automatic mind, so to speak, the the anchors become stronger, so it's easier to settle into your own grounding, as well as some triggers that were maybe always affecting your pool game no longer exist, because that's another benefit. So let me go over the list that I have of how hypnosis could help your professional or amateur pool game. Number one, improving focus and concentration. Through hypnosis, players can learn techniques to enhance their ability to concentrate and block out distractions. By entering a state of heightened focus during hypnosis, players can practice maintaining this concentration during matches. And additionally, anchors can be set during hypnosis to trigger a focused mindset whenever needed on the table. So, a really common anchor that I'll set up for someone is the OK sign. And by so at any point, this isn't doesn't have to be obvious. We can connect a state or even a color or a sensation to the anchor. So in the moment, especially if it's been compounded and done a few times in hypnosis, or if the person has outside of hypnosis practiced and continue making the association in a heightened moment, it's so powerful. I don't know if you guys already know this, but hypnosis, and anything that we do kind of in that in any space of like shock or heightened emotion is more powerful. And that's how some of our less enjoyable patterns and behaviors and feelings get imprinted to begin with. Number two, enhancing confidence. So hypnosis can address underlying confidence issues and negative self talk that may undermine a player's belief in their abilities or even just shake their confidence before, during, or after. And so, hypnosis done right can instill a strong sense of confidence and self belief, where again, those anchors can reinforce feelings of confidence, empowering players to perform at their best under pressure. Three, visualization and mental rehearsal. Now, this is something that all athletes do anyway. And if we really look at the evidence, even though it's not always called hypnosis, maybe it's called um, visualization or mental toughness. But what's happening is when we're using, this way of our imagination to visually rehearse, practice their shot strategy, overall game plan, they can really visual the success and reinforce the neural pathways associated with executing the shot. So that's why I think it's so interesting sometimes with hypnosis, because it is imagination, but we often forget the science of how when we imagine it, especially beyond the critical factor of our analytical or logical mind, we are creating those new neural pathways connected to the habit, making them more solidified. And so, that being said, number four, managing pressure and stress. It's going into hypnosis is learning how to relax essentially. But in high pressure situations, the person being able to tap into that space is, of course, amazing. But what can really be great about this is number five, which is like overcoming slumps and plateaus, and maybe being able to address underlying mental barriers that contribute to performance slumps or plateaus by uncovering and resolving not just blocks in the subconscious or negative thought patterns, but actually having the opportunity to process something that is coming up or does tend to come up kind of regularly or probably at the most inopportune time in the match or in the game. And yeah, it's so fascinating because in that moment, it might seem like a technique and maybe a technique does work to cope, but the real freedom that's offered with this is actually the ability to just resolve it. So it doesn't exist anymore. I mean, that's one of my favorite things of doing this type of work is like when people come back to me and say, I just can't remember the last time I had that feeling. And so this really um, helps players to regain their confidence and create momentum in the game. And we all know that as soon as we might lose that confidence or like lose that flow, how crucial it is to get back in order to win. And that's where all of this free work in hypnosis just comes through at the time of the game. And so the last one, number 6, is developing mental toughness. So through hypnosis, players really can develop mental toughness and resilience to cope with setbacks and challenges. It can reinforce a mindset, but also really tap into the player's innate resources and ability, reinforcing their potential for success. So overall, hypnosis provides players with powerful tools and techniques to enhance their mental game, improve performance consistency, their nerves, be more grounded, more centered, more balanced, and ultimately unlock their full potential on the pool table. And, sports performance is so exciting in this way because we can see the results. Whereas there might be a lot of practice, practice in the actual skill, shooting the shots. But what really makes the difference, even Olympic champions will say this, is when the mind is working with all of the practice. So we've got like both habits working together where there's not one sabotaging the other. Thank you for watching.